Chapter 15. It is 3 days before the wedding, and Ingo's family arrives in a caravan of rental cars. His parents, Gloria and Patrick, are amazing and immediately take me into their family. His brothers, Michael and Luke, and their wives, his Uncle Bill and his wife, as well as his Aunt Sarah and her husband, are all equally welcoming. Ingo's nieces and nephews are a jumble of names, but one day I will finally remember them all. As Ingo had warned me, Patrick and the rest of the men immediately break me in. They tell Ingo what a babe I am and joke with him about holding out on them, making me extremely grateful for my brown skin, because I would definitely be 2 shades of red by now. I love watching Ingo interact with his family throughout the day, and I am grateful they embraced me so readily, understanding the emotional baggage their son is willingly tying himself to. His parents accepted me with no judgments. The day Ingo called to tell them about the wedding, I had given him permission to share the details of my life. They, in turn, have shown me nothing but love and support. Gloria follows me to the kitchen to grab more sandwiches and lemonade for everyone. Placing her arm around my shoulders, she says, "Jessica has told me over and over how special you are and how fortunate Ingo is to have you. I agree with her. I couldn't understand why he never liked anyone enough to attempt a relationship. I guess he was saving himself for you and didn't know it." She smiles, squeezing my shoulder. "I'm so happy to be acquiring such a beautiful daughter-in-law." "I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not." "Thank you," I managed to say as disobedient tears brim my eyes. "I'm happy to be a part of your family." She wipes her own face and we embrace. "Hey, what are all these tears about?" Patrick says, entering the kitchen. Gloria laughs. "Oh, you know I get emotional a lot. Probably my hormones." "Yeah, probably," he agrees, dodging his wife's attempt to swat him with a dish towel. I laugh as he ducks behind me. They are a total riot, and I love them already. Patrick smiles, placing a fatherly arm around me. "I know it's not official yet, but welcome to the family." "Thank you." I briefly take in his handsome features, marveling at how much Ingo looks like him. After talking another moment, we take the sandwiches and lemonade to the family room and rejoin the others. A while later, Ingo discreetly pulls me into the hallway. Wrapping his arms around my waist, he presses me against the wall and whispers, "Have I told you today how much I love you?" "Yes, but it's okay if you want to tell me again." "I love you." He kisses me tenderly. "I love you too," I murmur. "So, you want to get married?" "Married?" "Yeah, married. Get hitched, tie the knot, jump the broom, live together, sleep together, and make babies. Married." "Sounds like a good idea to me. Maybe we should." Grinning, he kisses me again. "We should probably head to the airport to pick up Adagio." "I can't wait to meet him." Ingo sticks his head in the family room and tells the family we're leaving, and we won't be long. "Shall we take your car or mine?" he asks as we head to the garage. I smirk. "I guess we should take yours. It's roomier." "Well, my SUV is a lot roomier than your Jag. You think?" Laughing, he kisses me quickly, bringing back to mind the day he gave me the beautiful car. After returning from North Carolina, Ingo had decided he needed to get himself some permanent transportation. He also decided I needed a car of my own. I couldn't believe it when he pulled up in the shiny metallic gray Jaguar and presented it to me as a wedding present. I laughed and cried for almost an hour as I drove it around the city. I'd never dreamed of owning something so extravagant. I immediately traded my North Carolina license for a Utah one. Smiling at the memory, I pull him close for another kiss before getting into the car. On our way to the airport, Ingo tells me more about meeting Adagio in Italy when he was there doing a photo shoot. He was renting a room near Adagio's villa and dined in his restaurant one afternoon. The two began talking, and when Ingo mentioned he would be heading to Utah to see his aunt after his job was finished, Adagio told him about once living in Salt Lake City himself and Ingo knew he'd found a friend. Adagio introduced Ingo to his kitchen staff and then had him over for dinner the following evening and shared more about his own life. They have been best friends ever since. Ingo shares what Adagio told him about losing his parents when he was young and about his move to the U.S. over 5 years ago to open Little Venice. I love that name, I say. Of course, I love Italian food, period. No, I love everything Italian. In fact, I sometimes think I was born on the wrong continent. It was a pretty catchy name, he agrees. He talks about a disgruntled employee setting fire to Adagio's restaurant, destroying the place. It's pretty sad they never caught the guy. Adagio worked so hard for that place, and to lose it like that was terrible. Fortunately, he had good insurance and was able to start over. And I have to say, I really like his restaurant in Treviso. It's in a wing of his home and it's beautiful. What is his new place called? St. John's Place. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think? It does, I agree. It's awful that a person can be vindictive enough to destroy lives that way. I can't understand it, but it happens. Sadly, I do understand all too well the cruelty of others, and after hearing all that Adagio has been through, I am even more excited to meet him. Ingo pulls into the airport parking garage and finds a spot near the terminal entrance. We quickly go in and check the arrival manifest, then stand near the security gate and wait for Adagio. 20 minutes later, Ingo spots him exiting the security area. There he is, he says, as his friend moves through the large crowd. Adagio waves when he sees Ingo. Smiling, I watch Adagio's eyes light up when he sees Ingo. Though I have never seen him before, there is something familiar about him. I could almost believe I've met him before, but I know that's impossible. I would definitely remember if I had. I notice several women gawking at Adagio as he passes through the crowd, and I can understand. Simply put, he is a very attractive guy. A couple of inches shorter than Ingo, his build is lean and very muscular. Black wavy hair, striking emerald eyes, gleaming white teeth, and a wide smile give him that movie star quality people work so hard to achieve. Surprisingly, he seems completely oblivious to all of it. The two men hug, slapping each other's back heartily. It's so good to see you, my friend, Adagio says. It's good to see you too. I'm glad you could come. Like I would have missed this. It's definitely going to be the event of the century. Laughing, Ingo pulls me close. Adagio, this is Cicely, my wife-to-be. Cicely, meet Adagio. It's good to finally meet you, Adagio said, embracing me. I'm happy to meet you too. Ingo has told me so much about you. He has told me about you as well. I hope you don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm glad he did. Well, let me just say that any woman that can tame this beast deserves my deepest respect and honor. He's that bad, huh? Oh, look who's talking, Ingo interjects. You're going to be next, buddy. Definitely, I agree, smiling at Ingo. You can count on me, on my help in finding a mate for your mate. Looking at Adagio, I give him my best angelic smile and he laughs. I do believe your wife-to-be is another kindred spirit. I think so too. Ingo points to some empty chairs. Honey, why don't you wait over there while we go and grab Adagio's suitcase? It looks like it will be coming in on the last carousel. Okay. While I wait, I watch other passengers come through the gate into the baggage claim area. Some have friends and loved ones waiting. Some passengers head straight over to retrieve their luggage, and a few stand looking around like they are lost. How well I remember the day I arrived in Salt Lake City. Entering the terminal, I had been afraid, nervous, and excited. Then I walked through the security gate and saw Jessica, and I felt like I had come home. Now, here I am, living a new life and about to marry an amazing man. I can't ask for anything more. Watching a young woman come through the gate and embrace another woman who looked like an older version of her, I experienced a brief sadness. Turning in time to see Ingo and Adagio approaching with his luggage, I quickly smile, pushing all unhappy thoughts from my mind. When we arrive at the house, Ingo introduces Adagio to his family. The women swoon, the young girls giggle, and the men wonder what all the fuss is about. I mentally lay 10 to 1 odds that the men will eventually hit Adagio up for a few romantic Italian phrases to use on their wives. I mention this to Ingo and Adagio, and they both laugh heartily. After we've all visited for a while, Ingo shows Adagio to his room, leaving him to unpack and rest. Later, when everyone else has gone to bed, the three of us sit at the kitchen table and enjoy some lemonade. Adagio retells me the story of meeting Ingo. Listening to their friendly banter, it is easy to see how close they are. Prompted by Ingo, I share with Adagio the story of my life-changing experience with the young girl, as well as my meeting Jessica earlier in the year. I could never have guessed our meeting would lead to me falling in love and becoming engaged. Despite the trials, I've been very blessed. I don't doubt that, Adagio agrees. It seems you have some marvelous things heading your way. I mean, you have a great guy here, and this is only the beginning. He is pretty amazing and a pretty amazing guy, huh? I am, aren't I? Ingo agrees. Adagio smirks. And your humility is astounding, is it not? Indeed. Then since I'm your best mate, that means I share your amiable qualities, true? Oh, good grief, I mutter. You guys are too much. Too much what? Ingo asks, his expression one of mock contrition. Too much everything. But you love us anyway. This is true. I talk with them a few minutes more before saying good night, leaving them to visit a little longer. Adagio lifts his glass and Ingo refills it with more lemonade. So how are you feeling? Are you ready for this? Oh yeah, Ingo answers, wearing a lazy smile. I've never been more ready for anything in my life. I keep wondering what I did to deserve her. I mean, with everything she has been through in her life, she is simply amazing. She is pretty special, and the love you share is obvious. I've never seen you so happy. I've never been so happy. Man, I never thought this would happen, at least not until you were 50 or so. Ingo snorts. Tell me about it. In a way, it feels like I've always known her, just like when I met you. I felt that too from the very first. It's like she's always been a part of my life. She makes me so happy. No need to tell me that, my friend. You have completely changed her life. And if anyone deserves a happy life, it is Cicely. Truer words have never been spoken. Staring out my bedroom window into the darkness, I am lost in thought when Jessica knocks. Come in. She sticks her head in. Am I disturbing you? Not at all. Come on in. Entering, she comes and sits next to me on the bed. I was just contemplating my life and thinking about Ingo and how grateful I am for him. He's a good man. He is. Standing, I move to the window and lean against the frame, my thoughts settling on my mother. I'm grateful for you and for my life here, but I still... And don't take this the wrong way, but I think about my mother, and I wish I could have talked to her before she died and settled things better between us. I've tried to make peace with her in my heart, but I wonder if it will ever be enough. Jessica's eyes are thoughtful. Cicely, I can't begin to comprehend what life was like for you, but I have to believe your mother did love you in her own way. How could she not? I don't know. I want to believe she did. Then hold on to that belief, Cicely. Don't ever let it go. I'll try, I say, sitting down beside her again. How do you always know just what to say? Instead of answering, she simply hugs me. We are all living amazing lives, Cicely, and we need to recognize and enjoy each and every blessing that comes, because we never know what the future holds. We are continuously being prepared for something greater. Each and every trial we face in this life makes us stronger, if we allow them to. We just need to persevere, and live the best we can. I do believe that now. Thank you, Jessica. She hugs me once more and leaves me to my thoughts. Pondering a little longer, I send up a prayer of gratitude for Jessica and Ingo. I'm also thankful for Adagio and for the friendship he and Ingo share that has expanded to include me.